As the sun dipped below the horizon, the father packed up his belongings. "You'll be all right, sweetheart. I'll return before you know it," he assured his eager daughter. She remained quiet, her gaze flickering anxiously toward her parents' bedroom. For months, that room had been home to her father and his new wife, Jessica, who harbored a deep dislike for the girl. Jessica had been unkind, sneering at her looks and character, and hurting her whenever the father wasn't watching. Yet, Margaret never brought her troubles to her father's attention. For him, Jessica had become a long-awaited outlet after the death of his beloved wife. Therefore, Thomas did not even know about the vile tricks of his new lover, and with a clear conscience was going on a work trip. He hugged his daughter tightly, kissed Jessica, and left without noticing the strange look she cast at Margaret, who was cowering at the door. A few days later, Jessica suggested that they go for a walk in the forest. "This will be our little secret outing. You agree?" she asked softly. The girl reacted to this proposal with suspicion. After all, it gets cold quickly in the forest at this time of year, and it was already too late for mushrooms. However, she had nowhere to go. In complete silence, the stepmother and stepdaughter drove to the edge of the forest, then got out of the car and went for a walk through the pine wilderness. At first, Margaret even relaxed. They walked without turning off the path, and Jessica laughed cheerfully and carefree, telling the girl stories about her youth. Immersed in these fascinating stories, the girl did not even notice how the path ended under her feet, and Jessica's perky smile turned from friendly to frightening. "Listen to me carefully, girl," the stepmother suddenly said, bending over to Margaret. Her eyes glimmered with a strange light. "You know, dear, I better go home alone and tell my father that you suddenly started acting strange, and after that, you ran away, no matter how hard I tried to stop you. We will even look for you for some time, and then, when we don't find you, I will console your father. And then we will give birth to our own children. How do you like the idea?" she said with a grin, and then a sharp pain in the back of her head took the girl by surprise. The vision darkened and the world plunged into darkness. Dusk enveloped the forest as a young she-wolf, emerging from her den in search of prey, wandered silently among the tall trees. And in the midst of this silence, the she-wolf heard a faint, alarming cry. Her ears instantly perked up, as if listening to the call of despair. She clearly caught the scent of a person, a little girl lost in this terrible forest. Instantly feeling an instinctive desire to protect her offspring, the she-wolf headed towards the source of the sound. And then, among the thickets, she saw a human cub, frozen and lost. Her eyes radiated fear, as if she was already anticipating the approach of death. The she-wolf slowly approached, as if she was afraid to destroy this fragile balance of the moment and completely frighten the child away. Clinging to the girl, the she-wolf felt her feverish, trembling, and weak pulse. She licked her face, as if she wanted to wash away the sticky pine needles. The she-wolf wrapped the girl with her warm body like a blanket. Her black eyes radiated maternal peace, as if she were saying, "It's okay, you're safe." For Margaret, the she-wolf lying next to her initially caused genuine fear and anxiety. However, as the girl came to her senses, she felt gratitude and relief, realizing that the she-wolf did not wish her harm. When the girl finally came to her senses and gained strength, the she-wolf, as if realizing that the time had come, gently touched her clothes. Feeling the pulse of her heart, the she-wolf realized that it was time to escort the girl to the safety of the human world. And so they moved slowly through the forest. The she-wolf always remained attentive, continuing to guard the girl until they reached the edge of the forest. There, in the light of the village lights, the she-wolf gently pushed the girl forward, guiding her toward people and safety. Already without the she-wolf, the girl slowly approached the door of the nearest house and timidly knocked. The door opened, and a cozy, hospitable abode appeared before the girl. The people in the house immediately accepted her, brought her to the fireplace, and fed her hot soup. After the girl warmed up a little, one of the kind people gave her a phone number. The girl dialed her father's number with trepidation, her voice quiet but full of hope. The sound of her father's voice made her heart beat faster, and her eyes filled with tears of joy. Even before his daughter called, the father was filled with despair and anxiety, as if something bad was about to happen. Ultimately, unable to withstand the bad feeling, he was unable to get to the place of his business trip and sharply turned the car around, heading home, where he was met by a tearful Jessica. She diligently played out the prepared lie, telling Thomas that his daughter had run away and that she could not find her. This news came as a blow to the loving father. Gritting his teeth with rage and anxiety, he told his wife not to go far from the phone, and he called his friends and the police. At that moment, he heard the cherished call. Recognizing his daughter's voice on the phone, the father felt like a huge stone had fallen from his shoulders. "Dad, it's me." The girl's words sounded in a quiet, trembling voice. "Aunt Jessica left me in the forest." Without hanging up and talking to the child, the father rushed to the car and went to the named address to pick up his daughter. Before leaving the house, the father confronted his wife and, putting into every word all the anger that had mastered him, he shouted that upon their return, not even the spirit of a woman should be in his house. Jessica recoiled in fear, unable to utter a word as she faced the man. Meanwhile, Evgeny drove down the empty road, listening intently to his daughter's astonishing tale over the phone. Margaret's heartfelt gratitude for the kind wolf that had sheltered her and guided her out of the forest resonated deeply with him. As he neared the village, he spotted a lone gray figure behind a tree. His heart skipped a beat, overwhelmed by a wave of gratitude and tranquility. It was the she-wolf that had saved his daughter from peril. He silently thanked the creature, which had shown more kindness than many humans, and promised himself that he would forever cherish this moment. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like it. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.